Hello everybody, I hope you all listen this video be okay. Welcome to my short study because I want to explain a little bit about new topic is the method in language teaching. My name is Ekky Wahyu Larasati. Without any further, I hope you will enjoy this video and keep on watching. New method is the method is language teaching, the more popular second language teaching method of the last half century. Before we start to the method, you have to know that in the teaching and learning process, there are several terms that can be used, such as approach, method, technique, model, and we actually have strategy. This term is widely used in education. So, to the most important things is the approach first, then the approach can be in the form of method, technique, and strategies. In the world of education, when we teach we must use teaching approach, method, technique, and strategies. If you choose to use an approach, its implementation in the classroom requires a learning method. About the method in language teaching, we have a kind of a method. So, I want to explain a little bit about kind of method. A method is a plan for presenting the language material to be learned and solved based upon a selected approach. In order for an approach to be translated into a method, an instructional system must be designed considering the objective of the teaching and learning. How to content it is to be selected and organized, the types of tasks to be performed, the roles of students and the roles of teachers. Learning methods are methods used to achieve goals that been systematically set. Jadi, ini sudah diatur di dalam RPP secara sistematis di mana semuanya sangat berkaitan. Dari mulai pendekatannya, menggunakan metode apa, tujuannya sudah jelas apa yang akan dilakukan nanti oleh guru kepada siswanya. Nah, di sini saya akan menjelaskan there is a 7 method in language teaching. Dalam pengajaran bahasa Inggris itu bekerja sampai dengan sekarang, maka metodenya pun bermacam-macam, banyak sekali. Dan di sini saya hanya akan membahas 7 method in language teaching. Nah, the first material method in language teaching is audio-lingual. The theory behind this method is that learning a language means acquiring habit. There is much practice of dialogue every situation. New language is first heard and extensively dreamed before being seen in its written form. Oral drills have the first is repetition. Repetition is the student repeat an utterance as soon as he hears. And the following example illustrated how more than one sort of drill can be incorporated into a practice session. Like example, I say, there is a laptop on the table, and the student repeat again, there is a laptop on the table. And another. And next is inflection. Inflection is one word in a sentence appears in another form when repeated. Example for inflection: I ate a sandwich, and the student say, I ate the sandwiches. Replacement. One word is replacement by another. Teacher, he bought the car for half price. Student, he bought it for half price. Restatement. The student rephrase an utterance. Like Anne said, tell me not to smoke so often. So the student can repeat, don't smoke so often. Next, the direct method. In this method, the teaching is done entirely in the target language. The learner is not allowed to use his or her mother tongue. Grammar rules are avoided and there is emphasis on good pronunciation. The target language making a relation between experience and language, word and idea, thought and expression, role and performance. This method instead for a student to learn how to communicate in the target language. This method is based on the assumption that the learner should experience the new language in the same way as he or she experienced his or her mother tongue without considering the existence of or his her mother tongue. Teaching concept and vocabulary taught pantomime, real life object and other visual materials. Teaching grammar by using an inductive approach. Having learning final rules through the presentation of adequate linguistic from in the target language. Centrally a spoken language, including a native like pronunciation, focus on the question and answer pattern. There is a characteristic feature of a direct method. Next, about community language learning. In this method, attempts are made to build strong personal links between the teacher and students so that there are no blocks to learn. There is much talk in the mother tongue which is translated by the teacher for repetition by the student. So, community language learning is a language teaching approach in which students work together to develop what aspect of language they would like to learn. So this is the characteristic of CLL. First, group of learning sit in the circle. Teacher is outside the circle. Second, help the student to become themselves, that sharing in the foreign language class. And next, to enable the student to use the target language communicatively. Next, natural approach. The natural approach. This approach proposed by Professor S. Krasen stresses the similarities between learning the first and second language. There is no correction of mistake. Learning takes place by the student being exposed to a language that is comprehensible or made comprehensible to them. The teaching learning is based on the use of language in communicative situation without resort to the native language. Karena ini induk dari 3 metode, yaitu to the audio-lingual direct method, and CLL fokusnya kepada penggunaan bahasa target sebagai bahasa utama di dalam kelas. Nah, prinsipnya pembiasaan dan keterpaksaan secara natural. Penggunaan metode ini memungkinkan siswa bisa berbicara bahasa Inggris dengan kebiasaan dan keterpaksaan secara natural. Next, Total Physical Response or TPR. TPR works by having the learner respond to simple commands such as stand up, close your book, go to the window, and open it. The method stresses the importance of natural comprehension. A method of teaching language using physical movement to reach verbal input. Activities type is imperative drill to elicit physical action. Latihan untuk mendapatkan tindakan fisik. Nah, guru memungkinkan siswa untuk merespon dengan aktivitas fisik. Like example, I say, "Halo anak-anak," so they can repeat again. Hi, hello, miss, ma'am. Next, the silent way. This is so called because the aim of the teacher is to say a little as possible in order that the learner can be in control of what he wants to say. No use is made of the mother tongue. Activities type. Learner responds to command, question, and visual cues. Activities encourage and safe oral response without grammatical explanation of modeling by teacher. The sandwich note means that Sunia, Mr. Sherlock Gateway, student lebih independen dan dapat memecahkan masalah. It's like a think of the book. Like example, fokus pada quality, lebih banyak praktek dan tidak banyak berbicaranya. Nah, di sini penerapannya itu ada reading, writing, listening juga bisa. Next, Communicative Language Teaching or CLT. The focus of this method is to enable the learner to communicate effectively and appropriately in the various situations she would be likely to find herself in. The contents of CLT courses are functions such as inviting, suggesting, complaining, or notion such as expression of time, quantity, and location. CLT is an approach to language teaching that emphasizes instruction as both the means and the ultimate goals of study. The characteristic of CLT. First is language learning as learning to communicate. Second, attempt to communicate may be encouraged from beginning. Third, fluency and acceptable language is primary goals, and then the primary goals of the course is to teach communicative competence. Nah, direct method, audio-lingual method, and CLL focus with the language used instead of grammar. fokus penggunaannya itu bahasa Inggris dan grammarnya dipelajari secara induktif. Sedangkan the CLT fokus kepada expression any occasion. Aktivitasnya yang berfokus pada ekspresinya, menekankan komunikasinya. Sejauh mana siswanya memahami fungsi bahasa yang mereka pelajari sesuai dengan kebutuhannya. Review dengan melakukan dialog with expression. Nah, bahasa dapat diaplikasikan sesuai dengan kebutuhan. Next, there is about a short study, and just sorry if I have a mistake in here video. So thank you so much for watching, and see you in next video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.